You know, there's something truly special about this time in our lives. The kids might be grown, careers have settled, and suddenly we find ourselves with more space, both physically and emotionally. And for many of us, that space means living alone. Now, I know what some people might say. Isn't it lonely? Or don't you miss having someone around all the time? But here's the thing. Living alone as an older person can be one of the most freeing, fulfilling experiences of your life. In fact, there are so many wonderful benefits to embracing solo living later in life, things you might not have even considered. So today, let's talk about 9 fantastic perks of living alone after 60. Whether you're already enjoying your own company or just curious about the possibilities, I think you'll find a few surprises along the way. Now let's start with something we all crave a little more of as we get older: freedom. Benefit number 1, total freedom to live life on your terms. Remember those days when you had to coordinate meals, TV time, or even the thermostat with someone else? Well, one of the greatest joys of living alone is that you call the shots. Want to eat breakfast for dinner? Go for it. Feel like leaving the dishes until morning? No one's counting. This is your space, your rhythm. You can decorate how you like, keep the quiet, or play your favorite music loud and set a pace that suits you perfectly. And it's not just about the little things, it's about reclaiming your time. No compromises, no negotiations. Just pure, simple freedom to live exactly as you please. Benefit number 2, rediscovering yourself. Here's something beautiful. Living alone gives you the chance to reconnect with you. After years of caring for others, whether it was children, a partner, or even aging parents, this is your time to explore what makes you happy. Maybe it's picking up an old hobby you set aside, like painting or gardening. Maybe it's finally joining that book club or taking a class just for fun. Without the noise of others' needs or expectations, you get to ask yourself, what do I really enjoy? And that's a gift. I've heard so many people say that living alone helped them rediscover passions they'd forgotten, or even find brand new ones. Benefit number 3, peace and quiet when you need it. Let's be honest, there's nothing quite like the peace of a quiet home. No blaring TV shows you didn't choose, no interruptions when you're lost in thought. Just stillness. For many of us, that's pure gold. Whether it's savoring your morning coffee in silence, reading without distractions, or simply enjoying the sound of birds outside your window, living alone means you control the volume of your life. And if you do crave company, well, that's the beauty of it. You can invite people over when you want to, and enjoy the quiet when you don't. It's the best of both worlds. Now, these are just the first few benefits, and trust me, there are even more wonderful things to explore. From the joy of designing your perfect daily routine to the surprising health perks of solo living, we'll keep going and uncover even more reasons why this chapter can be so rewarding. So let's keep talking, because living alone isn't about being alone. It's about thriving on your own terms. You know, one of the most delightful things about this stage of life is how much easier things can become. Less rushing, less fuss, just more time to enjoy the little moments. And living alone? Well, it turns out there are some pretty wonderful hidden perks that go beyond just peace and quiet. So let's pick up right where we left off and explore a few more benefits that might just make you appreciate your solo life even more. Benefit number 4, a home that truly reflects you. Have you ever walked into someone else's house and thought, wow, this feels just like them? That's the magic of personal space, and when you live alone, every corner of your home can tell your story. No need to compromise on decor, furniture, or even that quirky collection you've been meaning to display. Maybe you've always wanted bright yellow walls but held back because someone else found them too much. Or perhaps you love minimalist spaces but lived with a partner who preferred, well, more. Now, it's all yours. Your home becomes a living scrapbook of your tastes, your memories, and the things that make you smile. And there's something incredibly empowering about that. Benefit number 5, stronger social connections. Yes, really. Now, this one might surprise you. Some folks worry that living alone means being lonely. But often, the opposite happens. When you're not relying on a partner or family member for daily social interaction, you might find yourself reaching out more to friends, neighbors, or community groups. Think about it, when you live with others, it's easy to let those outside connections slide. But solo living can inspire you to join that walking club, call up an old friend for lunch, or even volunteer somewhere new. And here's the best part, every interaction becomes a choice, not an obligation. You get to fill your life with the people who truly light you up. Benefit number 6, better health habits. This one's a quiet game changer. Living alone means you're in charge of the pantry, the bedtime routine, and even those little daily choices that add up. No more sneaking extra desserts because someone else is indulging, or skipping your walk because the other person prefers to stay in. I've heard from so many people who found it easier to stick to healthy routines once they lived alone, whether it's cooking nourishing meals just for themselves, turning the living room into a yoga space, or finally getting that full 8 hours of sleep without disruptions. It's not about being strict, it's about honoring what your body needs. And you know what? We're just scratching the surface. There are still a few more incredible benefits to explore, like the joy of spontaneity, the financial perks, and something I call the gift of quiet confidence. But we'll save those for next time because each one deserves its own moment in the spotlight. You know, as we've been talking about these benefits, I've been thinking about how many of us spent years putting others first, raising families, building careers, caring for loved ones. And now, this chapter of living alone isn't about being alone at all. It's about finally giving yourself the same attention and care you've so generously given others your whole life. So let's dive into these last few benefits, because they might just be the most meaningful of all. Benefit number 7, the joy of spontaneity. Remember when you could suddenly decide to take a day trip? Or spend an entire afternoon reading in the park? Or rearrange all the furniture just because you felt like it? Living alone brings back that delicious spontaneity. No checking with someone else's schedule. No compromising on plans. Just pure unfiltered yes to whatever makes your heart happy today. Want to book a last-minute train ride to visit an old friend? Go. Feel like eating popcorn for dinner while watching your favorite classic movie? Why not? This is your time to follow those little impulses that bring joy. And let me tell you, there's something wonderfully youthful about that. Benefit number 8, financial peace of mind. Now this might not sound as exciting as spontaneity, but stick with me, it's powerful. When you live alone, you have complete clarity about your finances. No guessing where money went, no compromising on spending priorities. Every financial decision is yours, whether that means finally taking that dream vacation or feeling secure knowing exactly what's in your savings. And here's an unexpected bonus. Many people find they actually save money living solo. No more subsidizing someone else's habits or splitting costs on things you didn't really want. Your budget becomes a true reflection of your values and needs. Benefit number 9, the gift of quiet confidence. This last benefit is the one that sneaks up on you. At first, living alone might feel strange, maybe even a little scary. But then one day you realize you've become your own best company. You've handled household crises, made big decisions, and created a life that suits you perfectly. And that builds a kind of confidence that nothing else can. There's a deep strength in knowing you can rely on yourself. Not because you have to, but because you've discovered how capable you truly are. And that confidence, it spills over into every other part of your life. If there's one thing I hope you take from all this, it's that living alone after 60 isn't about what's missing. It's about all the wonderful things you gain. Freedom, self-discovery, peace, and yes, even deeper connections with others. It's your time to design days that feel exactly right for you. So tell me in the comments, which of these benefits resonates most with you? Or maybe you've discovered another perk of solo living that we didn't mention. I'd love to hear your stories. And if this video brought you some new appreciation for this chapter of life, do give it a like and share it with a friend who might need to hear this message too. Remember, this isn't just living alone, it's living fully. Here's to your happiness on your terms. Until next time, take care and enjoy that wonderful independence of yours.